Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited. Okay, we have a really exciting video today because I ordered the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. You guys, okay, I wasn't going to. When I first saw the palette, I was like, not that impressed. And then I kept seeing more pictures of it and more swatches of it. And then Natasha Denona put up some looks on her Instagram and stories with it. And I was like, I need it, and I bought it. Also, they were having like a 20% off like coupon code. It was like Boxy/Natasha ND or something like that. I am not a BoxyCharm. I don't get BoxyCharm, but I still use their code to get 20% off. So that is what we are going to be doing today. I'm going to do a first impressions look. I have swatches, all of the above for you guys. So before I get started, don't forget to upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday for you guys. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help me out. And other than that, if you are excited, like I am, to see swatches, first impressions, all of the above of the new Natasha Denona Zendo palette, then let's go ahead and get started. So it comes in this box right here. Let me open it up for you guys. And then the actual packaging is the same exact color. I already have fingerprints on it. Sorry, I'm trying not to blind you with all of my lights. But yeah, I love this packaging. I think it's just really nice and sleek and pretty. Then when you open it up, oh my goodness gracious. Look at this color story. Look at this color story. I think that is just absolutely stunning. I am so stinking excited to dive in and play with this. This was based off of her mini Zendo palette. I do not own the mini Zendo palette, but I will pop up a picture here in case you do not know what it looks like. I actually would not compare those two. Like if I didn't know that this was the mini Zendo and then this was the Zendo, I don't think that I would have thought that they were based off the same palette. I just think they're pretty different, which is fine. I don't mind that. This is just a really pretty color story. I love these shades. I am going to go ahead and pop up some video of the swatches that I took earlier. So I'm going to go row by row. The first one we have is Mindful. It's like a really pretty, like deep chocolatey brown shade. Then we have Luster. This is like really pretty goldy shimmery shade. I built that swatch up quite a bit that you see on my arm. It seems more of like a topper shade to me. Then we have Balance, which is just a normal matte formula, and it is like a really pretty caramely brown shade. Next we have Flow, which is this beautiful blue metallic. And then last we have Mantra, which again I think is one of her cream to powder formulas. This like teal, deep teal shade is absolutely stunning. I'm really hoping that I like it on the eyes. The second row, the first one we have is Aura, which is a really pretty like corally orangey shade. Then we have Vigor, which is just a really nice like almost red sort of shade. It is her classic matte formula. Next we have Relief, which is just a plain coral matte formula. Then we have Equilibrium, which is another really pretty deep teal shade. Unlike Mantra, it is not matte. And then lastly on that row we have Breathe, which is another cream to powder formula. It's a really pretty matte minty color. Then our third and final row, the first one we have is Sense. Next we have Tranquil, which is a little bit lighter than Sense. Then next to that we have Calm, which is a really pretty like coral sort of transition shade. I think this will also be really pretty in the crease as a transition. Then we have Yama. It's like a goldy sort of color. And then lastly we have Zeal, which is just her classic matte formula, and it is like a really interesting brown shade. It's pretty unique, honestly. I'm gonna be fully transparent with you guys. I was not insanely excited when I swatched these on my arms earlier this morning when I was taking that video footage. It just, I don't know, they didn't super impress me. A lot of the shimmers just didn't seem really impactful and poppy and punchy, which A, I like, and B, I'm used to from Natasha Denona. I am excited to try them out on the eyes. I don't like to like just go off swatches. And I think with a glitter primer under my eyes, which I will use, I always use a glitter primer, I think that it will hopefully help. I don't know. This is her mini size, so it retails for $65. And yeah, those were the shade names and swatches and a little bit information about the palette. It is available now on Natasha Denona's website and on Sephora. I will have it linked down below for you if you want to try it out yourself. But yeah, now that we got all of that out of the way, let's go put it on my eyes. Let's try it out on these eyeballs because I'm like dying to. Please ignore my skin. It's having a moment right now. I'm not sure what is going on. And also I burned myself curling my hair this morning. So that was a really fun morning. I'm going to prime my eyes with my MAC paint pot like I always do. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I'm not gonna do a crazy intense eye look with this. I'm gonna try, I was just looking down at the palette trying to think of like what eye look I wanted to do. And I think I'm going to be able to use probably like 6 of the 15 shades. So I'm going to be able to try out quite a bit for you guys. But I'm not going to do anything crazy, and I'm not going to go into like any of the blues or the cool tone like side of the palette. I just am not feeling that today. I do plan on doing a 1 week 1 palette with this though, coming up very, very soon. Next week is my last week of school with students, and then we are done on Friday. So then I was planning on filming it the last week of May and getting up for you guys like really early June, like June 1st or something like that. That's a lot of details you guys don't care about. Anyways, I'm like gonna do a 1 week 1 palette with this very soon. So I will play with all of the shades then. I am gonna also set that with my Charlotte Tilbury powder. This is pretty much how I always prep my eyes before I do my eyeshadow. I don't know if you're supposed to set these paint pots. I've seen both ways that you can set them, or some people don't, but I usually do. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start out with Calm and put that into my crease. That doesn't seem to have a lot of kick up in the pan, which is really nice. It's not showing too well with this brush. Let me grab another one. That's a little bit better. I think Calm may be one of her cream to powder formulas. I think I said it was a matte one when I was doing the swatches earlier, which I don't really know like how to use those formulas from her. I think you're supposed to use a little bit of a denser brush maybe? I don't know if I'm using the shade right. But I mean, it's going on nicely. It's not getting patchy. It's a really pretty like orangey, corally type of shade. Next, we're gonna go in with Balance right here and just try to like deepen it up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my outer corner. Okay, so it's looking a little bit more orange than I was anticipating. So I'm gonna take this Relief shade and go ahead and put that on in my crease, just to make it a little bit more pink. There we go. That one had a little bit more kick up in the pan, but not anything too crazy. Let me try to zoom you in a little bit. There we go, that's a little bit better. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, next I'm going to take the Mindful shade up here in the corner and try to deepen the outer corner a little bit. I think this is another one of her cream to powder. I wouldn't normally go in with this type of brush, but I think you have to with her cream to powder formula. Like a little bit deeper, denser of a brush. And then we're going to try to blend that out a little bit. I really like that shade. I think it's really pretty. It's a really nice, I don't know, like caramely, almost type of tone. I think that's a really pretty shade. Okay, next I'm gonna take this Yama shade and I'm going to put glitter primer down and then try to put that on my lid. That's a really pretty shade. It's almost, I think it's like a duochrome. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of Relief and mix together Mindful and Calm just to deepen this outer corner again. No, Balance, sorry, Mindful and Balance, not Calm. Okay, well there's that. I don't feel like I used very many shades. How many did I use? So I used 5, so I used a third of the palette. I think I'm going to leave the eyes there for now, and I will go ahead, finish up the rest of my makeup, and then I want to come back on and do like the lower lash line and everything with you guys, and then I will finish up the video with my final thoughts so far on the palette, of my first impressions of the palette. All right, I went ahead and got the rest of my makeup done for the most part, besides setting spray and mascara. If you want to know anything else that's on my face, I will have it all listed down below in the description box for you. Also, I am doing a review and wear test on the Purita Cica Clearing BB Cream, so keep an eye out for that video coming up. It will be up after this one. So I'm gonna finish up the lower lash line for you guys. I think I'm gonna do a pretty simple lower lash line, just like I did a pretty simple eye look. I think all I'm gonna do is take this Mindful shade and maybe mix it with this Balance shade, and then we are going to put that on with a flat definer brush, most of that Mindful shade, and we're just going to buff that on like the outer half of my lid, no, my lower lash line, like that. And then we are going to take this Relief shade and kind of tie in that coraliness from the top and then blend this out with that. Like so. I like that. I think that's really pretty. I will say this palette doesn't really have a inner corner shade for me. So I think I'm going to just use the highlight I use, which is my Becca Champagne Pop. We're just gonna put that as my inner corner highlight. I don't love when palettes don't have an inner corner highlight for me, but I'm also like really insanely fair, so I understand. And when it doesn't, I just use whatever highlight instead. So it's not the end of the world to me. It's not like a deal breaker, but it's just a little annoying. I'm also gonna pop that on my brow bone. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and add my mascara and setting spray and then probably this Makeup by Mario liner in my waterline, and I'll be back for my actual final thoughts on the palette. So BRB, okay. Alrighty, so here is the final look on my first impressions with the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. Okay, wrapping up my thoughts. I was not, like I said, I was not super impressed with the swatches when I did them earlier on my arm. I don't know. I think I'm undecided. I don't think I know how I feel about this palette yet. I really like this look. I think it looks very beautiful. I think the couple of shades that I used, well, not really a couple. How many did I use again? I used Mindful, Balance, Relief, Calm, Yama. Okay, so I used 5. I used 5 of the 15, so I used a third of the palette, which I feel good about that. I mean, typically I'm not someone who uses a million, shades in a look anyway, so I feel like 5 is a good amount. So I like this. Like I said, I like the look. I didn't have really any issues with any of the shades that I used. Her cream to powder formula is a little more difficult. This Calm shade was a little confusing to use. I thought it was a matte shade, but I think it really is her cream to powder formula, and it's a really stunning shade, but I just don't think I maybe picked up the right brushes to use with it. But Mindful was a little bit easier to use. It's another cream to powder formula, and this shade is just it's a really stunning shade, like chocolatey caramel sort of shade. The one shimmer I used, Yama, it was pretty. It's very pretty. On here, I feel like it looks way more intense and foiled than it does on my eyes, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I'm excited to keep using this. I really don't know if I can give you a definite, like, yes, I love it, I recommend it to you guys, or not right now. I can't do that based off my first impressions, honestly. Like I said, I am planning on doing a 1 week, 1 palette with this coming up very, very soon, so keep an eye out for that. I feel like after that, I will be able to definitely give you guys a little bit more of a finalized thought on this. My first impressions, I think it's a really beautiful palette. I think it's pretty. I like my look. I didn't really struggle with any of them except for this one shade, and yeah, I think it's pretty. I think if you're going to use these shades, maybe wait for a sale. I don't know. I have 4 midi palettes from Natasha Denona, and I have gotten all 4 on sale, whether it be the Sephora sale or a code or something like that. So I think the $65 price tag isn't that bad, but I still think you could like get it on sale. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know if I can really give you my finalized thought. I will say when I was sitting down to film and I was just looking at this palette, I was a little like, what do I do with this? How do I combine these colors? What do I do? Which that's like one of the main reasons I wanted to purchase this, because it is a pretty unique color story that I knew it would get me out of my comfort zone. This look didn't really get me out of my comfort zone. It's pretty normal for me, pretty typical look for me, but I know when I do my 1 week, 1 palette with it, I will try to be a little bit more creative and get out of my comfort zone more with it. So it is a little confusing of a color story. I don't mind that though. Like I said, I want to be challenged. So yeah, upon first impressions, I like it. I don't know if I would necessarily say run out and buy it and purchase it right this second, but so far so good. And I am super excited to keep using it, keep trying it, keep testing it out for you guys. So yeah, I will definitely do that coming up soon. But yeah, let me know down below if you picked up this palette, if you've tried it, what your thoughts are on it. I would love to hear below, or if you decided to pass for now, because I feel like a lot of people on my Instagram page were talking about how they were deciding to pass on it for right now before they wanted to see reviews and all of that before. So let me know down below if you picked it up or not. I hope this review was helpful to you guys. I hope the swatches and me talking about it and all of that was helpful for you deciding if you do want to purchase it or not in the future. Other than that, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.